No, I don't think horror works just on a visual level. I think it needs to get under your head, under your skin, and into your head. And I think that's a very important part, and I try to infuse that in all my work.
The thing that's going to sell me on a scary movie, it needs, you know, one of two things. There needs to be some sort of historical terror about it, because history can be scary to me, or some sort of psychological thing, something that's going on within someone's own mind, perhaps, or you know, delving into a person's personal past.
You know that they want to see what's behind that door, and you, as a filmmaker, sometimes milk that character's walk toward that door, and then you sometimes distract him to give him a downbeat where they're off guard, then you hit him with a punch. So it's a little bit like comic timing, I think.
My mottos on this movie were patience in suspense, and less is more. You can move a camera behind someone for a long time, and that just makes the audience go crazy. Because you just don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know when it's going to happen.
You don't really have the safety net to be repeating in your head, it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie, right? Because it's, you know, it's not, it happened.
Yeah, it's better to keep the set light after the camera stops rolling than... It would just be, oh man, going to work would suck, actually, if you had to, if it was just dark the whole time.
And I run up to the window and I look in and I just see 3 pairs of asses looking at me, because people I won't name thought it'd be really funny to show me their asses before I learned their names. But we're still rolling, so I kind of look something like this. And I just had to go back in it.
I didn't recognize him for a minute on set. I see this little, my favorite now new word is schlumpy. The little schlumpy guy in the little blue jacket, and he's got his little glasses on. I thought, oh wait, that's our director.
And we would hide in the bushes quite often, and we would pick different people to play this trick on. And as people left the set, we would all just jump out on them. And we did that like 10 times, and then eventually people clocked on and they stopped being scared.
Every time they yelled cut, we'd jump into song. Me and Rory would be singing Moulin Rouge. Sam would be singing, oh, we just love Moulin Rouge. Like, he was Hugh McGregor, I was Nicole Kidman. Sam would be doing West Side Story when you're you know, so it was so much fun. You had to keep it light.
I think it's a power. It is like a spirit, something you can't see and you can't touch and you can't imagine in your mind. Like, for example, the Paranormal Activity films, the Blair Witch Project, you never see the monster, you know what I mean? Like, and I think often for me, what really kind of unfortunately ruins a film is when you see said monster and you kind of go, ah, it's not as scary as I saw it.
The scariest part about it, these places that they find are very, very eerie and weird and dark and old and low-ceilinged, and that for me is far scarier. I just think, how could you live in this house?
To make jokes, I could say a lot of other things, but like seriously, it's anything to do with my kids for sure. Yeah. Oh, the worst. Like
standing on edges. I don't like edges. It's very odd, but I don't like, you know, when you're like near an edge and you can fall off. It just.
Cockroaches.
Not usually a scary movie watcher, because I've been known to have some panic attacks and, you know, hyperventilation and all that fun stuff.
I love scary movies. I loved Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I started my costume for Halloween in August, and I loved Hitchcock movies. You know, I really loved Hitchcock movies when I was a kid. I think that's what started me on scary movies.
Some of my favorite films are all psychological horror movies, like Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock. Like, it's probably one of my favorites. I mean, even Rosemary's Baby, which was like a horror movie. It is not in the modern version of like what a horror genre is.
The movie What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer, that is the scariest. I put it on mute. I didn't, but it's so suspenseful that it freaked me out for days and days.
There's a movie when I was a kid that I saw that freaked me out, called Watcher in the Woods. So that with Bette Davis. So that is not what as a kid I just thought, oh, this seems like a fun movie, and then it is not.
If I had to mention some horror films that I loved, there was a recent film called The Descent that I thought was very good writing, very good characters and relationship. And I will send you back 25 years or so to a film called Jacob's Ladder.
I think it's because you feel so much when you watch something like this. And when you watch a horror movie, people love adrenaline, you know?
You know, you watch these kind of films and think, oh, my scenario isn't that bad, you know, comparatively to what these people are going through. Yeah.
You know, it's escape from reality. And a movie like this that deal with religious subjects and good and evil, it's scarier because it could be real, and it's, you know, a lot of people believe that it is a possibility, and that's exciting to them.
It always leaves a question. So like, you know, there's like the adrenaline that you get when you get scared is kind of it's kind of infectious, and you kind of want to keep seeing those kind of movies.
The reason why kids like to go into a theater and experience fear is not because they want to go and be afraid. It's that they have fears that usually they keep under the surface, try to keep a lid on it, but they need a place to go and sort of have all that stuff brought out.